There's a quorum call in process.
Can I ask unanimous consent that the quorum call be dispensed with?
Without
please?
objection.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I've asked for this time not only today to address my colleagues in this body, but to speak directly to my constituents at home in Arkansas. After many months of debate on health care, yet another important step in a very deliberative process. Today we are voting on whether to continue to discuss how to improve health care in America or to stop the debate. I personally have carried the mantle to improve health care for Arkansans throughout my public service, like many of my colleagues, so many others as well who have worked hard on this issue. Over the last several decades, the advance of medical technologies and our nation's changing demographics have placed new demands on our healthcare system that it's not designed to meet. Our vote later this evening is not the first step towards making the necessary adjustments in healthcare, nor will it be the last, without a doubt. The Finance Committee on which I serve and which is led so ably by my good friend from Montana, Chairman Baucus, has produced what I still describe as the most responsible approach to health insurance reform. We deliberated for more than 22 months, incorporating recommendations from experts all across our great nation, and proved that through our bill, that America can achieve unprecedented health insurance reforms that expand coverage, reduce cost, and provide stability for those with existing coverage. We accomplished these goals without posing long-term risk for taxpayers. It was not a perfect bill. We never see perfect bills around here, quite frankly, but I can honestly say that I will fight hard so that our final product will be more closely resembling the common sense deficit-reducing plan we produced in the Senate Finance Committee. At times like this, I think it is very important for each of us to remember the very reasons that we began this debate altogether. Small businesses, Madam President, working families are reaching the breaking point financially because of the relentless rise in health care costs. Nationally, our economic recovery will only be slowed by the inflationary cost of health care. Taxpayers and the insured are already bearing the cost of medical treatment for the uninsured at the most expensive point of delivery in our emergency rooms. Health care in America today is a model that waits until people get sick rather than focusing on the wellness, prevention, and good management of illness that keeps people out of the hospital and from having the most costly care needs. Our current health care system wastes money and is so inefficient that the United States spends more than twice as much per person while ensuring a smaller portion of our population than the average spending in 29 other industrialized nations. There simply aren't enough health insurance options available to most Americans today, when in at least 17 states, including my home state of Arkansas, only one insurance company controls more than half the insurance market. And in at least 22 states, still only 2 carriers control half of the market or more. Patients and doctors, Madam President, are routinely making treatment decisions with little or no objective information about which treatments are most effective. American capitalism is based on choice and competition because when these elements are present, consumers can most always find the best value for their money. That's not true in healthcare. So by creating health insurance exchanges through which small businesses and individuals can choose from a menu of private plans, we can enhance cost transparency, create head-to-head competition, and allow market forces to reduce prices. These are facts. These are facts, Madam President, and whether we are Republicans or Democrats or independents, I believe that we can agree on most all of them. I know that the great majority of Arkansans believe these facts and want to see us accomplish these reasonable goals. For months now, groups from outside my state have assigned various motives to my deliberations on health care and tried to define the meaning of my vote. According to the last tally, there's been more than $3.3 million worth of media ads that have been purchased in my home state of Arkansas by groups from outside of our state, certainly none by me, and most with my name in the ad. Still, Madam President, I have continued to approach this issue like I always do. These outside groups seem to think that this is all about my reelection. I simply don't think they know me very well. I am focused on my opportunity to influence the final version of health care reform legislation in a way that most helps my state. That's why the people of Arkansas sent me here. They sent me here because they know that I'm going to work hard to do the best job possible and to do the right thing, to stand my ground in my principles. I've avoided the extremist claims from the left and from the right and tried to pull the common sense solutions from among all the policy options so that we get health care reform that benefits Arkansans and all Americans. That's our job in this body, Madam President, to represent our states in this unbelievably historic body, the United States Senate. Truth is, this issue is very complex. There is no easy fix, and it's imperative that we build on what is already working for health care in America and not turn away from the problems that we face. We keep building upon what we truly can say one day, that all American citizens will have access to quality and affordable health care. In order to improve upon and build upon what we already have, I do not support the creation of a so-called robust government-administered public plan. I believe that we should work to make sure that we do not expose American taxpayers and the Treasury to long-term risks that could occur over future government bailouts of a public plan. Rather than create an entirely new government-run health plan to compete with private insurers, I support health insurance reform that focuses on changing the rules of our existing employer-based private health insurance system. I believe we should change the current rules that permit insurance companies to bully their customers and cherry-pick healthy patients so we can force them to compete with each other. Madam President, my first loyalties are with the people of Arkansas, not insurance companies, the healthcare industry, or my political party. In fact, I authored an amendment during consideration of legislation in the Senate Finance Committee which limits taxpayer subsidies for health insurance companies that pay their top executives millions in salaries. Responsible health insurance reform should ensure that insurance executives aren't receiving a personal windfall and that companies they work for are not receiving excess tax breaks while at the same time profiting from government requirement on consumers to buy insurance. The reason we are having this vote, Madam President, is because our Republican colleagues object to beginning debate and consideration of amendments on health care legislation. Although I don't agree with everything in this bill, I have concluded that I believe it is more important that we begin this debate to improve our nation's health care system for all Americans, rather than just simply drop the issue and walk away. That is not what people sent us here to do. Attempts by the National Republican Party and other conservative groups to portray this as a vote for or against this particular health care reform bill is untrue, and it's deliberately misleading. The vote tonight will mark the beginning of consideration of this bill by the full U.S. Senate, not the end. The Republicans have sought to revive their political party by opposing any real solution to our nation's health care crisis. In fact, Madam President, this vote for or against a procedure that allows us to begin open debate on health care reform is nothing more and nothing less